At the heart of our teaching, the science of mind, is the concept of oneness. This oneness outpictures as our wholeness and interconnectedness. With this in mind, there is no source of information outside of us that can influence us without our agreement. Everything in the world can then be seen as arising from shared reality, not as something to be conquered, but to be transcended and transformed through our understanding and love. Do you understand what he said right there? That no source of information outside of us that may influence us without our agreement. Nothing can influence us without our agreement. That's what we really believe in this teaching. That's why we can't malpractice someone else unless we're in agreement with it. While we tend our responsibilities in the world by washing our hands and tying up our camels, surely we must also mindfully strengthen our awareness of oneness and trust it to inspire us the appropriate actions that match our spiritual wholeness. We may well need to keep abreast of national, regional, and local developments concerning the coronavirus, and equally important, we can take this opportunity to confidently embrace our teaching of oneness. Acknowledging that fear of the virus is part of our shared experience, we are called to respond with both compassion and spiritual conviction, and to move forward together with deep recognition of oneness and wholeness. Blessings to all. Reverend Edward Viyun.
Is that his first message?
I guess that was his first message. Anyway, I just thought I'd read that to you because it's prevalent. It just came in. Anyway, it's good to know what...
We're like at the hub. Just in. We have...
It's good to know what our leaders...
Spiritual alert,
Yeah,
right here
so-
at CSL Kauai.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're not idiots in this teaching. We're not saying, go ahead,
There's also a woman...
don't wash your hands, just walk into the,
What's her
whatever.
name? Dr. Rankin, Lisa Rankin, Mind Over Matter. Anyway, she's wonderful. And I've been kind of following her blogs a little bit because somebody turned me on to them. And it also gets us centered and gives, as a doctor, it gives some doctor stuff, but it also goes back to that. You're on.
Okay, so first of all, you need to write a purpose for your treatment that you're going to write tonight. So do you all have a purpose? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can do the one last one. Just after what Patrick said, I don't know if he asked you to write a purpose. So now I got to turn this down.
No, I did not
All right,
tell
we'll
them
try
to
this
write
again.
a
So
purpose.
this little meditation is about it's about step number 1, which is recognizing that the life force and the source of all creation are the same thing, becoming conscious of this presence as a real thing. Okay? So that's what we're going to be doing. So let's turn the lights down. All right. This might be too loud. This is liquid mind. It's a little... I never know. Okay. All right. It sounds like I'm going to turn to the next one. I don't like that one. Okay. Let's just take a deep breath. Do your best right now. I invite you to just relax into your seat. Put your feet on the floor and cross your legs. Just be comfortable, whatever that feels for you. Really sink into your chair if you can. And just know that it's supporting you totally and completely. And just feel your breath going in and out. Slowly going in and out. Just become aware of your breath. Sensing that that breath is the presence of God within you. In and out. Your very life force. And it's around you too. It's your whole atmosphere. In and out. Just sense the light and the loving energy as it goes in and out with each breath. Breathing in and out the light and the love of the divine. Imagine yourself bathed in the energy of the universe, that which permeates everything. Bathed in the energy of the universe, that which permeates everything. Everything about you is that energy of the universe. The sensations within your body, notice the feeling of your skin. The touch of your clothing on your skin. Sensations in your mouth, your tongue resting on your teeth. It's all the energy of God, of love. Every sensation is the process of the energy and power and presence that is the creative life within you. Sense God's power at work within you. The power of the divine at work within you. And listen and hear the sounds of the divine around you. Every sound reflects the work of some divine action taking place. Now just ask yourself, what do I know of God, of Source? What do I know of God, of Source? God is love. God is life. God is lavish abundance. Just contemplate the qualities of the ultimate. Spend a moment with the idea of harmony. Harmony. Peace. Total peace. Wholeness. Wellness. Wisdom. Love. Light. Lavish abundance. And more. Anything else that comes up within you. Name it as good. And just imagine that you're opening your heart and mind to all good. Sense the good welling up from within you. Know that the words spoken from this spiritual consciousness have the power to manifest truth, wholeness, peace, and well-being. To wash away false limitation. To initiate change. Sense and feel the wisdom within you. Listen for your intuitive voice. Know that you can follow this wisdom into action. You have the power to manifest truth, wholeness, peace, well-being, to initiate change and wash away false limitation. Feel the wisdom within you and listen for your intuitive voice. You can follow this wisdom into action. Slowly bring yourself back. Focusing on your breath again. Feeling the sensations in your body. Opening your eyes when you feel comfortable and ready. And look around the room at each other and notice that you are looking at God in expression. That you are seeing through the eyes of the love of Spirit. I don't know if we should blast the light on. Turn the one in the back first. Oh, we gotta do something about the lights in this place. How did that feel? Was it nice? That's called going to the absolute, going to the field, going to whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I think the more that we do this for ourselves, whatever way we do it for ourselves, the more we'll be able to call it up on demand when we need it. When we're in the middle of the grocery store, or waiting online at the bank, or looking at our checkbook, or whatever. Any comments on it, the experience? Yeah, so that's basically, for step one, recognizing that the life force and the source of all creation are the same thing, becoming conscious of this presence as a real thing. And those qualities that we were talking, and there were probably others that came to your mind, are the qualities that you're claiming in your first step. Because those are the qualities that you're going to call up when you declare for your, when you do your declaration part. So anyway, so write from that experience, just write your first step. And what? Just your first step, yeah.
You write it, your purpose. Yeah, write the purpose, and then
Write your first
write
step.
the first step.
You're doing good on time. The next part is unification.
It's going to take 2 seconds. Well, it's mine, isn't it?
Yeah.
just go with what you're feeling. So go ahead, I see, we'll wrap up, we'll pop over to 2. Unification or identification. I think we've said it before, or why we call it identification is because it's actually closer, less separation when you're identifying yourself as God opposed to unifying, bringing something into you. We were taught with unification as unifying, but as our mentor continued to, as we started to study, we realized that it felt like we were actually bringing something into us, and actually we weren't. We were just identifying with what already was. So we are surrendering any idea of feeling of separation between the Creator and its creation. That's us. Anything that says that we're separate is not. There's no truth in that. We're individualized. That means expression of that spirit, of that thing called life. But we are not separate. Between the intelligence and wisdom, the peace and harmony of the creating power of our own life. The creating power of our own life. I like this. As long as there is a creator, there will be a creation. And as long as there is creation, there will be a creator. In and as, through the creation. It will be a manifestation, but it will not be separate from what it manifests. Not much to spend on this one. As the meditation was happening, I sat back there and I said, oh, there'll be a day that 1 and 2 are really not 1 and 2, it's just 1. But in the meantime, as we're processing, or we talked earlier, as we're learning, as we're trying to, embrace it, there's a separate about now we're becoming, because once again, the unification, identification is now a decision. That we no longer, we will no longer feel separate from Source. Does that make sense? The decision now is to say, wherever I thought it was that and then this, that no longer exists. I don't do that anymore. I take this power as the power, and you'll see when we get to the 3rd step why that's so important, because you really can't go to 3 without 1 and 2 being 1. Does that make sense? You can't declare from this place of power without remembering exactly that there has never been and never will be a separation between us and this power. And it expresses itself individualized, which is great because it makes life interesting. And it can't help itself. It has to just keep creating all this great stuff, all this great, wonderful stuff. So here it says, you are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop. We use that a lot, don't we? Yeah. Does it make sense about the identification? Just a show of hands. Who likes the word, just for word's sake, who likes the word unification? Okay, we'll do this. Unification. Who likes the word identification? Okay. There is no right or wrong. We don't even use the word identification anymore, really. We do because that's what it was originally, yeah?
That was Ernest Holmes' original thing.
Because it makes sense. I identify now, there's no separation. I identify as this oneness so that I can now be the creator and the creation. Remember I said you're the healer and the healed. There's no difference. That's how come we can heal.
I think it's also too, because you don't want to be saying, now I'm unifying with this. You want to say you're coming from it. Now this is who I am. I am. If God is everything, then I am that presence and that power. If God is love, then I am that love. So it does sound like you're just all of a sudden taking it and becoming it, or,
pulling it
doing
in.
pulling it in or something.
Yeah. Yes.
Why were you saying if God is?
Oh, I said if God is all there is, then I have to be me.
Because there's a lot of people that don't believe it. So if it is, just like in this philosophy, and I said it on Sunday, it either is or it isn't. If God,
and I know that it is, then
if it is, which we believe it is, so But there's a lot of people who are still very much in the if it is the all that is all. So that's why
Or I guess you could say because God is all there is, then that is what I am.
Yeah. But I was saying that on Sunday, and I'm really standing by it, we're learning this because there is no loophole. You can't have it. You can't have it both ways. You can't have that sometimes life is shitty and then sometimes it's not. It is in the world of form, but it isn't. You cannot. We can't. Where we're coming from is this place of this place of power. And if we're from that, then we have all capabilities of doing it. And anything else, it's like, yeah, it is, except for this, there is no except. Now, I can live in accept, and I have done it many times, but that just because I'm not manifesting at its full potentiality, as they say, doesn't mean that it's not full potentiality. That's my loophole. Just because it doesn't mean it's not happening.
It also doesn't mean it's not there. It's there, whether we're manifesting or not. It's still there. It's manifesting at the degree of our belief. So it is a matter of degrees. I think that makes more sense to me, that it's a matter of degrees than it is of it is or it isn't. It is.
I thought you were speaking as if you were doing the treatment, but now I see you were just sort of speaking
Right.
something on the
Yeah.
side.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It's probably better to say because God is
I would
all
say
there is.
that because it's probably better.
Yeah.
All right, so
Because I know this is true, then therefore I am
right.
that.
So let's do number 2, shall we?
Yes. So based on your number 1, do number 2.
Oh yeah. Did you do it while we were? Good. Sometimes that's a really good place to be, Melissa. I'm there quite often. In my own little quantum, in my own little room.
In my own little quantum, in my own little can be whatever I want to be.
you'd continue it on.
On the wings of a fancy I can fly everywhere. Remember that song?
Is it from the Clear Day?
Let them focus on it. Hurry, it's up.
Oh, I
I'll look it up.
I love that.
I wonder if I could learn it by Sunday.
God could.
No problem, I have no one to play for me. I took a lot of lessons.
I just want to add one thing to unification. Unification, I was sitting there back there, is exactly what we were talking tonight about, deciding to be in the field. That's what I believe that steps 1 and 2 is what we were discussing at the beginning of this class. That feeling of, you're just there with it. That's what happens when 1 and 2, I believe, is you become aware that it's one. Then I believe that's when the quantum field and that vibration of the divine, that happens when the separation. Because I can get it when we're separate, it wouldn't feel, we can't feel, powerful, because there's still there's that power, my power, your power. And so there's a separation. So it's about the wholeness that I believe, like we were talking about at the beginning. Step 3, goodbye.
All right. There is a difference between what you want and what you want to experience. Okay, so this is what's going to make your treatment really real to you. If you can get to what it is you want to experience. Like if you want a new car, yes, you're treating for the new car, but it's the experience of having the new car that's going to draw up the feeling within you. You just say, oh, I want a red Maserati, that doesn't have any feeling in it, does it? Like, it doesn't. But if you can say, I love the feeling, I declare that right here and right now I have a red Maserati. Is that the right word? And I feel so amazing and rich while I'm driving this. I have the most perfect, amazing transportation. It is always flowing perfectly for me. It comes to me with ease and with grace. I am sitting in it and I can feel how rich I feel right here and right now. So it's like the experience. Like, why do you want the red Maserati? It's not just about the red Maserati. There's something behind that. Like, why do you want perfect health? It's not enough to just say, I want perfect health. It's what that feels like that's going to bring it to you. So it's not about not being definite. It's all right to say, I want this perfect car for myself or whatever it is. I'm going back because of your thing from last week. But it's the experience of having it is the thing that's going to bring it to you. It's the experience of having it and what that feels like that's going to bring it to you, through you. Because you have to become it.
So when you said it comes to me with ease and grace, that sounds like you don't have it yet.
Well, you don't,
you
actually,
don't.
unless you got that car.
Or you could say, it is mine with ease and grace. It's
Yeah.
here with ease and grace. However you want to say it, whatever works for you, that happens to work for me because I know it's coming to me. It's here.
Yeah.
You could say it's here. I have it. It feels so good to drive it. I can feel, oh my God, I feel so rich right now. I feel so, I'm driving with ease and grace through life. I have perfect transportation. It's the best transportation. This or better. I could even have more than this. So I like to say this or better, like this or more. Like if I have a house that I have my eye on or something, I don't treat for that house. I treat for the experience of having the most perfect, beautiful, amazing, light and airy house with, windows, and I can move through it and it's spacious and I feel safe there and I feel comfortable. My transportation, I feel so safe because I can rely on my transportation. It's so just amazing. However, whatever words stir up the feeling. So I'm trying to say it's the experience, not just talking about the thing, if that makes sense. It comes to me with ease and grace. It is here. It came to me. You don't really talk in past tense.
I think that a good one, Abdul.
It's actually coming through me. It's coming. Whatever makes you feel like it's here. If I say it comes to me with ease and grace, that makes me feel like it's here. But that might not be for you.
Can I use the Abdul just for a moment?
Yeah.
Because Earl Nightingale, I don't know if you know him, he's an old time down in the Napoleon Hill thing. He was talking about Abdul, and Abdul didn't know. Abdul is this mystic that lived. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, Abdul, but I just learned about him the other day. But anyway, he wanted to go to Barbados, and he kept saying and he was kind of being mentored by Abdul, and he said, "You're already in Barbados. It already exists. There are the streets, the things, and he says, no, but I'm not there yet. I have to create it. I have to know how am I going to, get the money? Am I going to borrow?" He said, "You're already in Barbados," and then he would always slam the door on him, because he would get into the arguing part of it, and he would always gently slam the door and then walk away from him. Then he'd come back again, and it was like this teaching experience. He said, "I am in Barbados. I am in Barbados." And so now I've been using that as a mantra every time there's something I want to experience. I just keep saying, "I am in Barbados." So what happened was he ended up, I better be careful. I am in Barbados. I better in Barbados. But his thing was that finally at the end, his brother sent him a ticket, said, "You never come here for Christmas. Come to Barbados." So he gets his ticket, right? So he goes there, sends it first class, and however the story goes, he went down there and they said, "I'm sorry that it's booked. You'll have to go third class." And he says, "I don't care. I'm just getting to Barbados." So he goes back to Abdul, who is his mentor. He says, "Barbados. My brother sent me a ticket. I'm going to Barbados." He said, "Of course, because you are in Barbados already." And he said, "But I had to go third class, but that's okay." And he slammed the door on his face again. He said, his point to him was, "No, you're first class going in Barbados." Because that was what the whole treatment was about, or whatever you want to call it, treatment. Ended up where he ends up they called and they said, there was a cancellation. You're going first class. The point being is that he kept getting in the way, and I think obstructing his, instead of just going, I am in Barbados, and it's wonderful, and it's fun, and it's majestic, and it's all of these things. And I know that, and I'm excited, and what does that feel like? I get to see my family again, and I can smell the ocean the way that it was when I was in Barbados.
I want to go back to the car for a minute.
So it's feeling and experience
Yeah.
was what I
So
was.
I have this car right here and right now. And I would say it comes to me with ease and grace because I don't want it to come to me with a struggle. And there might be something within me that still feels like I have to struggle for it. So I would say it comes to me with ease and grace. And I would say I have it right now. It comes to me with ease and grace. It has everything that I require. And I feel great in this car. And it gets me exactly where I need to go, when I need to go, on time. I feel safe in it, blah, blah, blah. I would just stir up all the feelings that would make it so real to me to know that it's mine right now. And I don't know how it's going to come to me. Somebody could give it to me. Or I have all the prosperity I require to acquire this car. I have all the prosperity that's flowing through me. I am rich beyond measure. Because sometimes money can be standing in the way. We think we don't have money to buy the car or whatever. So it would depend on you and what the things that you need to treat, that you need to turn around within yourself, the belief that might be keeping it from you. If that makes sense.
Well, that's why you have to have the purpose, and why you'd have to.
you have to have
That's
the
why you.
purpose.
That's why you'd have to figure out if there was anything in the way, because if there is anything in the way, then you want that out of there.
Yeah, and you can say, I remove all obstacles with my word. There is nothing keeping this car from me. It is here, and right now. My word obliterates anything standing in the way. I do that a lot because sometimes I feel like there's something like I'm holding on to or something that I just need to push out of the way. I might not even know what it is, some little feeling or something of inadequacy or non-deserving or whatever. And so my word just obliterates it. And it's gone.
And it obliterates it by focusing on. I'll give you an example of a car. We have always been given. Somebody has left, and then we borrow their car while they're gone, and we do them a favor, and they do.
How did we end up on the last slide?
It was in the field.
Like, get on with it.
But as we were talking about the car, I just want to give an example of it. Is that we're always thinking, we talk about this too, Sue, and about I got to have another car, but then somebody will leave, and then they'll give the car, and then I'll go, oh, well, we don't need a car now because we got. But I keep manifesting the perfect two-car family, and I have been doing that. We have been doing it. So what happens is today we returned the car, to Glenn and Marion, and here and the keys, then and their key. Oh. Yeah. Yes, that we never did. But anyway, here's the deal about that. So right now I'm going, okay, so you don't have the third car, so you can go buy it. We have the money to go buy that third car. But second car, my third car.
Third car, please.
I have my car to my ninth car that's sitting in our, but here's what happens. You can't BS yourself. Because even as we were talking, I said, Patrick, what do you think about that second car? And I'm thinking, I want the second car, but I don't know if I want to deplete the money to go do that because it feels good to have that money in the bank. And I'm thinking.
And what does that mean?
Well,
that means you have to treat for
exactly.
prosperity to know that there's more money to replace it.
I'm using myself as an example because that's what you should do when I'm using it going, oh my God, that's in there. Oh, dude, you can sit there all day and treat for a new car, but if that's inside of you in your consciousness, because so what am I going to treat for now? Not a new car. I'm going to treat for the consciousness to know that when a new car or anything else I desire comes forth, that money is unlimited, so it just will go again and again. So do you see why treating for the car isn't always the thing? So right now, thanks to all of you in this class, I'm going, I go in there and I do a little house cleaning. I remember who I am and I'm unlimited. Because without that thought, I promise you, either somebody will come and lend us another car, which is absolutely fabulous too, if anybody's leaving town and want to get us a car. But it's not going to get the new car to us if that's in there. Because we'll just keep saying, we need to go down and check out a car. You and I have talked, we've been there.
Well, I bought the truck knowing that I bought my truck knowing that the car was going to be available as well. So for a moment in time, I had 3 cars.
Right.
But then the universe found someone to take her car. But I said I would keep your car when my friend Cindy goes off island. I
Right.
said, I'll keep your car and I'll take care of it for you so you're not stuck because you were counting on me. But I can't hold on to the idea that your car is going to be there when I need it.
Exactly.
Because I need a car.
Exactly.
And now I don't need a car.
No, you
Right.
don't.
No.
Exactly.
No, you don't? No.
No, because she's got.
Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
that's
Oh,
right.
that's right. You can.
So anyway, I use that as an
Direct
example
deposit.
so that when we say hurry up already and something's not manifesting, that we can actually go, oh, then what's in there? And if you're honest enough with yourself, you'll find it. Okay.
Okay, your
Oh, but
turn.
don't they have to do their third step?
Oh, write your declaration or your realization. I like realization. That's the other thing. Realization means that you're actually now have made the connection with the qualities of God and you're speaking your word. You really actually realize that you already have it. Why am I doing that? You realize that you already have it and you're
So now you're just in realization, meaning that, perfect. Third car is just, oh, that's funny. I love realizations.
no future tense. You didn't mention that. But
We'll explain it.
well, you wouldn't say like you could say it comes to me because it comes to me means it's coming, it's here. If you say it will come to me, that's a little different, and stay away from that. Stay
Just
way
like if
away
I
from
was saying
future tense.
in an opening, this is going to be the perfect
Yeah.
class.
Oh, no.
No, it isn't going to be the perfect. Right here and right now, this is the perfect class, and it's unfolding easily, effortlessly, moment to moment. Not it's going to be anything. Nothing is going to be anything. It already is. And then you express from there. I am. I am.
You know, in a sense, writing a treatment is a little artificial, you know, but at least it gets you to start thinking and finding the words you want to use and stuff. But it is artificial, if that makes sense. In a sense of learning, it's okay, but that's why standing up and reading your treatments with, they're not coming from where they're supposed to be coming from. They're coming from the past, really. If you're standing up and reading them, you're not in the moment. But sometimes you have to do that. Our mentor didn't trust us at first. He doesn't do that now because he's grown up. But he used to make us write them, and he just didn't trust us to get up in front of the congregation when we first started. So he would make us write them, and then he'd have to look at them. And then I just remember one day coming up to me and go, "I think you're ready to do it now." I was like, "Thanks a lot."
You can imagine how difficult that was for me in my studies.
You never wrote them.
I didn't. I remember one of my
I was
my
always the good
colleagues
girl.
always said, he said, "Man, you just got up there and just started talking." Did it. The same thing with our first talks. I just got up there because it was so hard for me. I could see people reading their talks, but I didn't know how they did that because it was so difficult for me. So I did do the first. You're right, I didn't. I don't know how I got past him with that.
All right, gratitude.
I treated for that. No, I just kidding. Okay, so the next
Gratitude.
one, Gratitude moves our consciousness to a state of receptivity. We receive the gift and we say thank you because we have received it. An attitude of gratitude cleanses our own mind so that we can behold the already present reality. I love this. This is the ultimate for gratitude. You know, what's the gratitude is the ultimate receivership?
State of ultimate receivership.
Because it's absolutely true, because when you get a present, you say thank you because you've already received it. And so that's what I'm always, and we're always grateful for the demonstration that we have said in this, and that we have stated in our treatment. A lot of times people will go off into we bless our food a lot. So, but I'll always end up, it'll be funny, if something has just occurred, I'll go, and I bless everything that brought it to this table, all the hands of the barges that brought it to this, I bless, just to think all of these people are sitting at our table with us, which is fine, and I go, and I bless the abundance that came in today. And I'm thinking, now why are you going into the financial and the phone call you just had? I start blessing everything, right? And I'm thinking, but no, I'm thanking for what? I'm thanking for the food. Now, you're never going to get in trouble for blessing, over blessing, but it is funny if you want to kind of scatter to the next. So gratitude, when you're in a state of gratitude, then it's a done deal. Does that make sense? Do you believe that you can be grateful for something that has not occurred? Yeah? How does it make you feel, Jamie? Huh. Right. Because there's no...
Physical feeling, it's like tingling sensation.
Right.
I don't know.
She has a tingling sensation.
When she feels grateful. Yeah.
Right. Why are you? Because you're no longer trying to get it. You already have it. So that's the excitement part. And you go, I give thanks for this incredible abundance that has occurred. And I pay my rent with ease and grace and everything that needs comes in abundance. So that's the whole thing. But the whole point of the step for the learning process is you're being grateful for whatever your purpose was on this. You know, not just grateful that life is so great for us, and that's good too, but you're grateful that the unfolding of this purpose that you've been working with is now here. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. Does that make sense? Good. You're welcome. Write it. Write it, know it, be it.
Just remember, you're thanking for whatever it is you're treating for.
Right. That's it. Now this favor, what?
At the end, I'll do a meditation before you treat out.
Okay,
this is a short one. I haven't. No, if we have time. If we don't, I won't.
We
If we have time, we will. If not, we're going to collect them. All right, well, we'll let you take home and rewrite them.
And now this is what I think we actually are going to do. If you feel... And yeah, we can read it, of course. But if you feel that when we get done, when we're about ready to release, and you go, yes, I believe that this is a strong purpose, strong thing, I feel good, then hand it to us. If you go, I'd like to just take tonight in and dance with it during the week.
Looks like Sue's.
Unless
and I can't read it. No, I think you should.
Well, actually, I can read it.
I don't want to have to struggle.
But we don't want to struggle.
I don't believe in struggle.
Okay, so let's talk about the most important.
All right.
If there is an important step, this is it.
This is the most.
Are you guys already do your gratitude?
Did you do your gratitude? You need to go back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's what I'm treating for, is the pressure to create on the spot when you're talking and moving around. It's like I just go totally blank.
Right. Well then.
I can't,
Oh, I see what you're saying. We're talking while we ask you.
Okay.
yeah, but it's like this, the quiet,
I got you.
aligned space is not there.
Okay. Well, let's give you what you want.
I'm out of it, but I'm okay.
All right.
Okay.
We did talk a lot. I agree with you.
Others have different.
No, you're right. We should have been quiet. We don't
You
mind
guys,
being-
I'm not going to go into a shame spiral
No,
over
honey,
this.
well, you don't have to.
Well, let's just, no, I'm just saying, everything's cool. Can we just start where we are and understand, thank you for letting us know that. Thank you for letting us know. Now, let's continue where we're at right now so that because the purpose of this evening is to learn about spiritual mind treatment. And that does have interaction because that's called a classroom. And that's how it
All right,
actually does
you ready?
work.
Release.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I let go of
Perfect
the,
time to release.
I let go of the outcome to divine right action, knowing it is already so. I get out of the way and let it be so. And so it is. So basically, you can say this any way you want, as long as you really let go and feel it, that you're letting go. Because remember, you're not doing you're not making this happen. That's the biggest stop in our treatments, is when we think we have to make it happen. If we could actually feel the freedom of letting it go, then somebody will butt dial us like within a minute. No, you know what I'm saying. So it's a thing about just understanding that when you release it, you're releasing it to the law, and the law is the one that's going to bring it to you. And because you don't know how it's going to come. You don't know. It's going to come in maybe a weird. It's like when Joe Dispenza does that thing at the end of his meditation, bring it to me in a way that I know that it is from whatever, the divine intelligence, however he puts it. So it's like you have no idea how that thing is going to come. You have no idea. So that's why this is so important, because you're actually letting it go to a power that is within you. It's the vibration within you that brings it to you, but you don't know how it's going to bring it to you. So you have to let go. If you find yourself going back and looking for it, that's when you know that you are separated from it. If you can actually let go, and just the only thing that you would do that would be, your work with it would be to just know it. That every time it comes up, you just know it. You're not looking for it. You're just watering it with your good thoughts of feeling excited about it, because you know it's already happening, right?
And all that would be left for you to do now after your release is to prepare for it.
Yeah.
Prepare ye the way. There's no other way. That's all you should be thinking of after you've declared it and did this, and you release it. And
Walk as if.
And walk as if. Prepare ye the
So
way.
write your release statement. They're not usually very long release statements. They're usually pretty brief. Yeah, the quotes are next.
But how do you want? Oh, they all can be.
Probably only two, maybe only one. Because we want to have time. We don't want to rush. What? Yeah, but they're talking to themselves now, so they won't be doing that. That's going to be next week. Next week will be the truth factors.
Right. Okay.
So is there anybody that feels like they want to read it? Because we're only going to probably have. We're probably only going to, well, depending on the treatment, if we, yeah, we can't go through every one tonight. So
it still holds. If you feel like something you want us to have, because you feel like it's a done deal, or you can send it to us, email it to us, do whatever you feel. But we have time for probably one
maybe
or
two.
two. So were you going, though, with that? No. Oh. Oh, yeah. I'll check it out. Yeah, I just.
Right?
Oh, do you have it?
except for Rob can't see you, so maybe you should come up.
We read Rob's mind.
Oh, that's fine. I know there is one exclusively loving energy, and that energy is love, it's God. And because I know there is exclusively one. It is also me. I flow that loving, creative energy through me. It is me. And with it, I co-create my ideal home and car. And I know that I am driving my car that I feel safe in, down my easeful easement, across my bodacious bridge, up the perfect path to my glorious gardens and my perfect home that's so cozy and beautiful and organized and clean. And I have glorious gardens and great relations with the neighbors, and I feel financially secure and relaxed in my body. And I am so grateful for this home and auto and these wonderful feelings, and for celebrating such great abundance and creation with my partner and all my friends. And I'm so glad to have this in my life, and it's even inspirational to others. And I release this knowing that it's mine or something even better. And so it is.
And release it as law.
As law.
That was great.
That is wonderful, yeah.
Whoa, I was there with you.
The only, but let me see
What?
this part of it. Okay, the only thing I would change here is all of this. I actually got excited when I was starting to get, but there's one thing that I would say is that the purpose was to have my ideal home and auto. What I felt when you were done, that my purpose was living life to the absolute fullest. Because you had so much in there. You had your relationships, your partner, your neighbors, your everything. So if my purpose was to have an ideal home and auto, I would probably have just stayed with that. But I liked yours. But all I would say is that my purpose would have been to have the perfect life and living it to the fullest. That's what it sounded like for me as a purpose, because you've brought in a lot of other things, which was great. But if you're focusing on just your home or your auto, your car, then you want to give all of that attention. That what?
And yet.
And yet.
I'm going to just say, and yet she did what we were saying, which was to go to the feeling of it. So that's what I got of it.
I was just talking about the purpose.
Yeah. 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 Okay. No, it's good.
No. It does.
Yeah. So good. Just keep doing it.
What I have been doing, this is the thing, I've been doing this treatment almost identical to this.
Well, then there must be something.
There's something.
There's something behind it, so you need to remove all obstacles that are standing in your way, whether it's a belief or some type of thing that you're feeling that maybe you don't even know what it is, and you don't need to know what it is, but you just need to just find a place in the treatment that just says, I let go of anything standing in the way of this now, and it is mine now. Just get more direct with it, all right?
And no,
don't worry
absolutely.
about being
And
more
if
feisty
I
with
were if I were in a spiritual counseling session with DJ, I would say, DJ, the word auto kind of stands out for me as not as powerful, and I don't know why.
I usually call it my Subaru, but then I thought
That must have been why I picked up on it, because when it was like your vibration was like, yeah, and the auto, and it felt impersonal to me just by listening. It doesn't mean it did to you. But yeah, don't be afraid of Subaru. Don't be afraid. I said that to Rita. I said, you want a Subaru, then it's what you want. You want a Subaru. I got the best Subaru, and it's just that you don't want to say how you're going to get it or this or better. Subaru, yeah. So we're trying to, so don't be afraid of Subaru. Subaru, and feisty. Feisty with spirit. Oh, that's a new talk. Feisty with spirit.
Okay, do we want to do another one?
We can do one more?
We could do one more. Sue. He wants you to get up so we can hear you.
Stan? Oh, good Lord.
Follow the cameraman.
Okay. My purpose is I want to wake up every morning excited about the joy I'm feeling about my job. What I know is that God is all there is, ever was, and will be. This universal spirit is infinite, all-powerful, and all-knowing. It is everywhere present and permeates all life. I know that I am that universal spirit. We are one and the same. I have all the qualities of God. I have all the power of God. There's no separation between God and me. We are one life. I declare that I am worthy of joyful employment. I can already feel the joy, love, and satisfaction of a day spent with children and books. My passion about books spills out all over and spreads through others. I know it is already true and in place. And knowing this truth, I give great thanks for its unfoldment. I'm so grateful for this manifestation right here and right now. I release my word into the law of yes, knowing it is already done in the mind of God, and so it is.
So it is.
And I got the job.
You got the job.
And I like into the law of yes.
And just remember,
Yes.
in the first part, when you're telling the qualities of God, make sure the qualities that you're putting as God are the qualities that you want. So if I wanted to feel enthusiastic, yeah, like you can say, and God is enthusiasm, God is passion, God is whatever. That it would be a quality that you would want to manifest. And therefore, I am passionate, I am enthusiastic, I am excited about life, blah, 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 because those are the qualities of God.
And she got that. Let's give it up, because that treatment has been fulfilled. Yes.
Yay, she did. Sue, look, Sue is like an amazing manifester. I have never seen you not be able to get what you want. You really are. When you really believe in yourself, you manifest. I do know that about you. Because that's what we were saying. We were going like, Sue, she knows how to manifest. You do. Thank you
When you
for
trust
being a great example.
in self, know thyself.
All right. So I don't know why my computer went off, but I will, while you're talking to them.
That's fine. So tonight is just about about that. If you want to give it to us, give it to us. If you have something from last week that you want to give to us from that one, give that to us too. If you want to go home and doctor it up a little bit, as they say, that's fine too, and then just get it to us. But my question is it helping to focus more on one thing, like the science, like tonight was the, yeah, so. Great. Because that's I've always believed that if you're not going to get it and really get it, then there's no point in moving on to the next thing. And what's important is, yeah, it is important to know the steps, but I said but it's more important to know what you're feeling about the steps and how to get us to that vibration that of the divine. It's so cute because you guys are doing it, but I feel kind of like the paparazzi. I'm like, well, I don't know. Wow. And it's like, it's not you, Patrick. Get out of the way. They want.
This is, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do next week. Next week, we're going to work on treating for others. So those 2 chapters that you read already, or hopefully you read them, were about treating for others. So we'll probably go through them next week. This stuff here, I haven't read it yet, and I don't remember what it is, but it's probably going to be helpful because we're coming to the end of the class. I think the more you can read, the more you're going to be filled up with good stuff. So, but whether we'll get to this next week or not, I don't know, but I would say read it. But definitely go back over, what? The one we did tonight. Finish it and bring it back next week.
And now we've got it here.
And then
But this one, just chapter 7, it says the practitioner speaks with authority. I read this book probably a million times, but I'm not sure what it says in it because I reread it the same as you guys do each week. But I'm going to tell you something. This word is the most important word that you'll ever have, as it doesn't matter if you're a practitioner or just, it doesn't matter because we're all practitioners. Because we're always in this place of practicing and doing it. But I'm going to tell you, that's where steps 1 and 2 And when you go into declaring, or as we're saying, realizing, is when you must, and really think of this week, DJ, with our Subaru, though I can't wait to see. But the Subaru, the feistiness that we were playing with is called the authority. When you have the authority, you're not wishing, you're not hoping, you're not doing any of that. When you have the authority. And that is one of the things that we must be diligent yet patient with ourselves, because that is to me, the biggest thing. Because when you are the power of God, I have no doubt that we have the authority to allow anything into our sphere and our experience. How could you not? The very cosmos in which have been created, the very breath that all of us are breathing together is God. And when we say, that is who I am, that's when you go to step 3 and go, and because of that, I have the authority now to speak my word. For this wonderful job that has occurred, for all the abundance, for the relationships, for the love, for this wondrous, career, it doesn't matter. Homes, cars, doesn't really matter, because we have the authority, and the authority doesn't stop anywhere. It's only when we think we're the servant of life, opposed to we have been given the law, the yes, that says, use your authority. So this week I'm inviting us, and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, to vibrate at the frequency of the divine and to use our authority as God. And let's just play with it this week and see where it takes us in everything we do. In sleep, I have the authority to go to sleep and say, I want not perfect sleep and the perfect dreams, the perfect knowing, the perfect whatever it is. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question, Miss Sue.
Sue Buckley?
Why do you think you demonstrated this so quickly? Or do you think it was quickly? Or what do you think it was? Because I always call it the click.
Well, I had to be willing to give up my other job. And I was on the fence for a year, almost a year, 9 months or so, whatever. And I had to actually make a decision that I couldn't go back after this time off. Yeah.
And you made the decision before you got this job, which is really cool. Yeah. She had to let go, right. And she had to make a decision that this was not right for her anymore, and she needed something more. She needed something more in her life. She needed to feel good when she went to work. She needed to feel excited about what she was doing. And so she started to focus on that and made a decision without what's it called? The net.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good
sometimes
one,
we
too.
do have to step off, but we have to know that we can step off without the net. Some people quit their jobs and then they end up, I've done that in my life too. I've quit a job and then I'm,
Because you didn't believe it.
because I didn't believe it. So.
But
anyway.
here's another thing. Not only this idea that Sue said about I had to be willing to give up my other job, but there's even a deeper part. We have to be willing to give up the attachment of the identity that something else gives us. Too, a lot of times in relationships of any kind, right? There's an identity that we have with it. There's a payoff, even if we don't want it. If we don't want it. Yes, but that's a good thing. Oh my God, you work with kids, how wonderful, and we're so grateful to have you of all people. And then you have to give up that attachment to say, you know what, that's not where I'm at today, and that's not what I believe, and that's not what and that's the biggest thing for me. What I found is that when you have to give up the attachment to the payoff. And people are not really, a lot of times there's a dance when we're in a session. People don't like that word. What's the payoff? What the hell are you talking about? I'm sick, man. What payoff could be there? Is there a payoff? There has to be, because we're set up to get paid for everything in life. That's what we're set up. We're programmed for that. So sometimes it's very hard to give up, even if it's martyrdom. I used to have that. Oh my God. Martyr. Let me be a martyr. It's tough to give that one up to go independent. because then where would my identity be? Where would I be if I wasn't a codependent? How would everybody not say, oh, look at what Patrick is, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, it's just an idea when we're working with our authority.
Okay, last quote, and Patrick's going to treat out. Ernest Holmes, our beautiful Ernest Holmes. In prayer, our spirit makes its demand on the universe. Through faith in the invisible source of good, it claims the particular good it desires. And when our whole inner being is in continual harmony with the source, knowing that it is ever pressing forward into expression through our acts, then it is that we shall come to have and experience an abundance of good for all that makes life worthwhile. Yeah, making our demand and having the faith to be able to claim our good and to be in continual harmony with the source of life, continually to vibrate at that frequency.
So taking all of those words and allowing the no words to have its way right here and right now in this divine moment. This divine moment that has never happened before will never happen in the exact same way. And I just bathe in the gratitude of what has transpired here tonight with all of these wonderful light beings, myself included. To bathe in the sound of cars and sound of life, however it shows up. I know that something has happened here tonight that is so incredible, so special, so divine, that the divine frequency has shown up in a way that is so spectacular and moves each and every one of our lives in that perfect, perfect alignment as spirit. And I say yes to it. I know that whatever was needed to be said, needed to be heard, needed to be felt, needed to be known, has been known. And I know that I know that I know. And I know that this has been a divine dance this evening. That each and every one of us can never be the same again. Because each and every one of us is brand new. Blessing the past and living from this divine place called good creates that wondrous, wondrous future that is present in this moment called now. So with that, I am so grateful for this incredible evening that each and every one of us has shared. And I know that it is divine. And that everything from moment to moment to moment just unfolds even bigger and bigger and the more is the more and the more is the more. So with that, I just say thank you. Thank you for the demonstration of this perfect evening. Thank you for the demonstration of all these incredible light workers coming in this divine moment to make it so and to be a contribution to this planet. And with that, I just say thank you. And I just step aside and allow my